Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you a discussion I had with a client who I just helped get a well-paying job in Dubai. It took around 7 months, but really good job. He's very happy with the job position, everything. And then he asked me a question which really rang a bell. And the question was, when is the right time to leave Dubai, UAE? Or when is the right time to leave the Middle East? Okay. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this is a rather very important question, because later on I had a discussion with a friend of mine who I made online. He's also from UAE, but now he's settled down in Canada. He Indian passport holder, but now he's Canadian, and he occupies a position as a director. And we keep discussing about Indians who keep coming to Canada for jobs, and he shares their CVs, and I ask him for his opinion and impressions. So in this video, I'm going to address the question, when is the right time to leave Dubai, UAE, or the Middle East? Okay, especially if you are not, obviously you're not a citizen of the Middle East. So put your thoughts and comments down below, and if you have questions, I would love to read them and answer them. If you're new to the channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I'm a personal branding strategist. I help people get well-paying jobs in Dubai, UAE, especially the Middle East, and people also book my services for coaching, consulting, if they have problems or questions that they need an opinion or they can't share with anyone. Okay, and even when they want to migrate to places like Canada, Australia, Europe, even parts of US. I have contacts, connections that I've developed over the years, and I give people the information which is not online. Okay, now let's understand this much. Why do people go to the Middle East, or why does anybody want to go to an Arab Muslim country? And the answer is very simple. To earn money that is tax-free, to live a tax-free life, to enjoy the perks and benefits, to have a much better life, like the perks, the luxury, the stuff that money can buy in Dubai is incredible. Okay, many people, when they live in Europe, or when they live even in India for that matter, you pay 35%, and like, for example, countries like Denmark, I heard even up to 55%. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so people generally migrate to other countries where they have to pay less tax or no tax. That's the name of the game. So now, let's say you migrated, you moved to Dubai, or you move to the Middle East. Saudi is also paying very good salaries. Okay, a lot of job positions are there, even in Qatar. So now you start working there. But here's the irony of the whole thing. You start a new life, you start a new career, you're making good money. But the fact of the matter is, you are not a citizen of that country. So the day you reach a point where your usefulness is no longer there, they will throw you out. They will ask you to leave. Or the Middle East, especially Dubai and Saudi and all these countries, they have started, yes, you want to stay in the country, now you can stay, but you have to pay money. So you have to cough up money for the visa, for the business, or provisions where you invest money or you put money in the bank, and they will let you stay in the country. But then again, the question begets, okay, you want to stay in Dubai, but is it worth staying if you're only going to keep spending money and not earning money? So Middle East is great if you can make money and save money, but it's not great if you're only going to spend money. Okay. If you're rich, really rich, then fine, tax-free life. But if you're not rich and money is not hanging on trees, or your father was not rich that he left you a big pool of money, then it becomes a problem. So the question is, when should you leave? When I have these discussions with people, and even when I spoke to my friend who's in Canada, who's a director, he said, see, Loy, this is what I'm paraphrasing. This is what he said. The faster you can leave UAE on your terms, the better it is. Okay. I would only add to what he has said by stating that when you have savings that will last for 1 to 2 years, or minimum at least 1 year, with your current lifestyle, it's time to make the jump. And you must do it before the age of 40. If you ask me, 40 is the deadline, cutoff time. The reason being is, once you leave after 40, it takes at least 5 years to settle down in a country. And when you go to a new country, they're not going to give you a very senior role, especially when you're new to the country. Let's say, for example, I'm just giving an example. Let's say someone from Bangladesh comes down to whichever country you are. He has never been to your country. He's just come there new. Do you think you're going to offer him, if you are the owner of a company, you will give him a very senior role where he'll have to make decisions based on the country, the economy, the people? No, you'll be like, man, you need to stay here. You need to learn the quirks, the people, the culture. You'll have to learn the market. So you'll want him to start from scratch, at least, if not from scratch, at a very junior level. This is what happens to many of the Asians, especially the Indians who go to Canada. When they start off in Canada, whatever experience they've had in India or the Middle East, it's null and void. You have to start right from zero. You have to start right from the bottom, because you have to understand the corporate culture. You have to understand the country that you're saying. So that is why so many Indians, when they migrate to Canada, they either take up jobs as security, truck drivers, bus drivers, um, uh, you know, clerks, domestic engineer, those are cleaners, mechanics. There is dignity of labor, so you can take up any job and not feel ashamed about it. But I don't think I've ever heard of any individual who was in, let's say, Dubai or India or any other country, and they go to Canada and straight away they get a general manager's position or a manager's position. It's never going to happen. So, if you were to ask me, when is the right time to leave Dubai? The right time to leave is as early as possible, provided you have 1 year's savings. By 1 year means you don't have to worry to get another job. You don't have to worry to pay your bills. You can live in the same luxury that you're living for 1 year without having to worry. That means that much savings is there. And if you have 2 years, it's even better. And why do I say this? Because when you go to a new country, you have to search for a new job. You have to get accustomed to the place. You have to meet contacts, connections, network. There's so many things you need to do. And even settling down takes time. If you have enough money in the bank, you will not be under pressure to grab any job that comes your way. You'll not be worried, oh, sheesh, I have to pay the bills. Oh, my. Because, when I came down here to Thailand, thankfully I had savings. Otherwise, I'd be in deep trouble, because for the first 2 years, I hardly had any clients. Just imagine staying in a country, not having any job, not having any customers, not having any clients. And for 2 years, you're just getting one customer every 1 month or 3 months, one customer. How do you manage? How do you pay your electricity, water, food bill? How do you sustain, man? How do you survive? And on top of that, I also had people who cheated me of nearly 40% of my savings. So just imagine, let that sink in. So in a nutshell, what I would say is the right time to leave UAE is if you already have that vision that, yes, I want to leave UAE, then you need to leave as soon as possible, provided you have 1 year savings. Or if you have decided that I will work in Dubai and live in Dubai until the age of 60 and only retire and go back to the country, then fine. Then you be in Dubai as long as you can. and save as much as possible. Like, I just had this conversation with one guy. I'll obviously can't give you his name. This man, I know him from many years. When I was in my 20s, he was the F&B manager. Very nice human being. He's from Goa. Very nice person. He, the funny thing is, when I used to work as a waiter and I didn't have any talent, any skill, he was kind of indirectly responsible for helping me get a job in 2 or 3 hotels. And he always worked in hotels throughout his life. Unfortunately, the sad thing was this poor guy, he never got beyond a certain bracket. He deserved a lot more. He just took the bare bones minimum salary without taking overtime, and he always worked in these 3-star hotels. He never worked beyond that. And today, he's in his retirement phase. He's 65 plus. He has varicose veins. His legs are paining. But his goal was to work until the retirement. And the reason being is he had a house back home. He had 2 daughters. He just wanted to make sure that he did his duty as a father. I think I'm not too sure. Both his daughters are completed their college. Maybe now they have to get married. He just wants to continue working in some other small little business here and there, and just continue the rest of his life, because he still has energy. He still has passion for life, although age and health is not keeping up with him. So yeah, these are the only 2 options I can think of. Either if you using Dubai as a transitory phase, then you need to get out as soon as possible. And yes, you must have savings of 1 to 2 years. That will help you settle down in the country of your choice. Or if you're choosing Dubai as I'll work here until retirement, then you work, save as much as possible, and then retire. And then, yes, there is a third category, which is kind of rare, but still there, where people have enough and more money. They're multimillionaires, where even after they reach the end of the corporate working age, that is 60 plus, they'll continue staying in Dubai. They will take up a visa, or they'll take up a small business where they pay the bare bones minimum basic. Or nowadays you have all these different visas, gold visa, silver visa, retirement visa, whatever, or investor's visa. They take one of that and they continue staying, because they know, I know this particular Indian guy, rags to riches, who has millions. And I asked him after he retired, I asked him, okay, so when you plan to go back to India? He said, no, I don't want to go back to India. Why? When I asked him why, he said, I'll have to pay tax, man. I'll have to pay tax for all this money that I'm bringing, all the property that I have and all the stuff. Why should I give a big slice of my earnings for a country that I never stayed? Even, yes, I'm an Indian passport holder, but I never stayed there. And pay money for what? I'm not going to get anything medical. I'm not going to get any infrastructure benefits. I'm not going to get any benefits. Might as well stay here until I die. So that is the third category. So this is my answer when people ask when is the best time to leave Dubai. You let me know if you think differently or you have a different version of this. Because end of the day, remember this, the Middle East is no man's land. The Middle East, if you're not an Arab and not a Muslim, you'll not get citizenship. And end of the day, that you can't blame them. Whether you're in India or any part of the world, whether you're Canadians, people, they'll always look at you as an outsider. That is why even though people in the West are polite, they always say, go back to your country, because they don't consider you part of this thing. You're still, the first generation will always find it tough. The second generation or third, fine, you get used to it. You have the same accent, mannerisms, culture, whatever. So this is what I have to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Agree, disagree? I would love to read your thoughts. All right, you guys take care. This is me signing off. Any questions, put them down. I read them.